not great real from it. And for some of us, that could be difficult. Look at your execution and lie. Like, I knew it. I'm like, like you don't create your potential. You have a lot of stuff that you need to work on. There's a lot of things you need to work on next time. For me, it happens, bro. Like, I said, you don't have to. But Chris has me that thing from film. Like, whoa. You know what I'm saying? So much so that, like, for and all that, like, I'm good on that. Like, I'm good on that. Like, it's not one of my things. But I gotta take these things seriously. And I think it's crazy because Chris was the coach. You know, like he was my coach without like officially saying he was my coach. But I think he was phenomenal at what he was doing because he that's how like I'm too and not in a cocky way. Like yo, what I do it well. I don't need coaching and all that. I don't need counseling. I don't need none of that. But I would hear Diddy call Chris like, okay, what you think I should do? And I'm like, Diddy call Chris. Okay, what y'all like? Not what y'all talking about. I know what you're talking about, but like she's humbling herself and saying.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, if you're just joining in, I know it's gonna be a relatively small class today. I'm quite happy with it, but what I wanted to do mostly is to impart some serious knowledge and understanding onto us. And at the same time, you know how my training goes. I like to, it's not just about me talking alone. I want you to participate as well so that I can get to understand you, so that I can get to understand where the challenges are, where the results are, so that we can get to improve on it. Number one. Number two, I've been promising that I'm going to do this class, I'm going to do this class, and I really want to start to do something about it, you know. And if there's one thing more than anything else is when I announce I'm going to do the class, I see the numbers in the room quickly jump up to over 700. So the few that can manage to benefit from this, I'm going to try my best to make sure that it's a short class. I'm going to try my best to make sure that there's a recording, and I'm going to try my best to make sure that you can go over it over and over again. But if there's one thing that I want us to do this morning is to see in terms of how do we get to understand ourselves, what is actually missing. You know, what is missing for me might be different for what is missing for you, but at the same time, not just about me imparting the knowledge. I want you to hear from other professionals so that when we tend to see what is missing from us, we can then easily find that thing that's missing and then start to improve on it, if you get where I'm coming from. So I want us to listen to Eric T for some minutes, right? And then I will come back and summarize everything Eric T is saying. Because when it comes to trading, trading is about life as well. It's not just about looking at the charts alone, because most of the things that you are seeing on the chart, it's not exactly the way that you're supposed to be seeing it. And because everyone start to learn from also different kind of school of thoughts, then it tends to get complicated along the way. But notwithstanding, we bring clarity into it, as you always know, and then make things a lot more easier for the newbies and intermediates and experienced traders. Thank you so much for your time. So we listen to this for a couple of minutes while we wait for other people to join.
For some of us, that could be difficult because you can look at your execution and lie to yourself about where you really are. Section through, then I'm gonna ask Moose to come. All right, so what I've done, man, and this is gonna be a little complicated because this is me. You know, like this is what I did personally starting in December. And of course, it's only so much you can put on paper. So I'll add to it if I need to add to it. But I just gave you kind of some bare basics so that we can kind of talk each section through. Then I'm going to ask Moose to come and do a couple things. And we can break this up however you want to break it up. It's a quad. So we can break it up however you want to break it up. You know, we can go back and forth on each one separately or go over all of them. But when I thought about mastery for myself, number one, to your point, Tim, I ended 2018 like, yo, E, you are not where you need to be. You know, like for real, for real. And for some of us, that could be difficult because you can look at your execution and lie to yourself about where you really are, right? And I knew it. I'm like, yo, E, you got a lot of growing to do, bro. Like you're nowhere near your potential. You have a lot of stuff that you need to work on internally, and there's a lot of things that you need to work on externally. And the boost for me, and it happens, bro, like you don't necessarily know when it's gonna happen, but Chris Depp was that thing for me that was like, whoa, like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So much so that, like, for real, even his funeral and all that, I'm like, yo, bro, I'm good on that. Like, I'm good on that. Like, he gone. There's nothing I can do about that. But I gotta take this thing to the next level, you know? And I think it was crazy because Chris was the coach that wasn't the coach. He feel me? Like, he was my coach without, like, officially saying he was my coach. But I knew Chris was phenomenal at what he was doing because he had pulled Didi into it. That's how I knew he was sweet with it, because Didi like a gorilla. Didi like, I don't need you telling me nothing. I'm sweet. Like, and not in a cocky way. But my wife like, yo, what I do it well. I don't need coaching and all that. I don't need counseling. I don't need none of that. But I would hear Didi call Chris, like, okay, Chris, what do you think I should do? And I'm like, you talking to Chris? Okay, what y'all, like, not what y'all talking about. I know what you're talking about. But like, she's humbling herself and saying, I need to grow to take my marriage to the next level. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, media would be like, you need to go to counseling. Like, you need to get your stuff together, not we need to get our stuff together. You feel me? And she was right when she would tell me that. But I saw her just on her own, not AE, call Chris. Hit Chris up so we can get on the call. They had their own relationship. So I was like, ooh, and I never forget, we were in Portland, Oregon, and Didi, myself, and Chris had gone over the values. And he was walking some stuff through. And Didi had, like, we personally had, as it relates to our relationship, another phenomenal breakthrough. And we was geeked about it. Like, oh man, phenomenal. All right, we're gonna go through this, and then we're gonna hit Chris when we grew. And then we was doing it, and then Chris was gone. And so that might have been like, Chris died, was it October? Did he die in October? November, October, November? Okay, so we had just went to him a couple months before that and was like, you know, we're gonna take 3 months, go through this thing. We geek. We about to tell Chris, we found this. Like, we found the source of the argument, boy. We got it now. The value test took us to the next level. Booyah, thanks, Chris. We owe you. And then I got to call Chris. It was weird because Preach called me. And like, me and Preach, we all right, but I don't know Preach like that to be calling me about Chris. I would think CJ or somebody would call me. He was like, Chris, and he didn't even say he died. Like, he said it weird, like. And so I got off the phone like, oh, okay, maybe he's asleep or something. You know what I'm saying? You know the hookup where it's like, I know what he said, but he didn't say that. And so I called Preach back. Like, yo, Preach, what you mean when you said what you said? He's like, dead. I said, dead? Like, dead what? Like, dead. I'm like, nah. Hung up the phone. It took about 24 hours. I still was in denial. I just saw Chris. Was it Boston? Were we in Boston? We was in Boston. Chris took me to the back in Boston. And we chopped it up in the back. Nobody around. We went in the deep freezer. We was chopping it up. He was talking about some stuff. I was talking about Didi, you know what I'm saying? And we was chopping it up. And then boom, I got the phone call. And I was just like, okay, E, you need to go to the next level. And what did that mean for me? That meant Chris knew something about me that I was so comfortable with him teaching me because he was helping me and I didn't have to do the homework. Does that make sense? Like, he knew something about me that I needed to grow in. He had the information, I didn't, but I was comfortable with him giving me the information. Now the information dude is gone. So I'm like, I got to get the information now. Like, I got to go get certified now. Like, not to help nobody else, but I need to know what he knew about me. I need to study whoever he learned from so I can know this about myself. So I went, got certified in December. Immediately after I got certified in December, I put this quad together, and Anthony Flynn was the first person I called. Like, yo, Ant, we need to meet. I need to, like, and y'all got to be careful. Okay, let me not say that, John. I have to be careful. I won't put y'all here and make it better, right? But I had to be careful that you got all this juice around you and you're not using it because you the juice. You feel me? I'm like, I'm the juice. Like, not the, y'all know me, so I wasn't being cocky or arrogant. I just was like, I'm the juice. Like, I got what I need. I can read a book. And God was like, you got juice. Use the juice. So I called Ant, like, yo, Ant, I need to go into 219 like I ain't never went to 219 before. Like I never planned for nothing before. Like I ain't that, you know, the vision board. Like I like to see people do that, but mine's is up here. I don't really be writing it down. It ain't in the basement or nothing like that. I just keep it right here. I got messed up. Malcolm was like, don't write nothing down. And I heard Malcolm say that. I ain't wrote nothing down since. You know what I'm saying? He just like, don't ever write nothing down. Like, cool. So put it right here. You feel me? But I was like, you know what, Aunt, let's sit down and let's do this right. Like I really want you to coach me. I want whatever. I need to pay you, whatever. Like, I'm not trying to like play. I really need this. And we sat down in December in Atlanta. He came to the hotel. I stayed at the Westin. I think I actually flew there to do that, or like that was like I'm not like waiting for like no week of prayer or no gig. I'm about to go down there. And so we spent a morning together, and Ant started writing some stuff down and started simplifying some stuff, right? So the first one I have in the quad that I want you to do, like I said, we can do it now, you can do it on your own time. I'm not really, you know, however you do it is how you do it. I just want to make sure I explain it and you understand what mastery looks like for ET. And I think at the time when I hooked up with him, I was #1, whatever you want to call it, motivational speaker, whatever in the world, right? So I wasn't going to him because my marriage was by that time phenomenal. I through the DISC assessment, I had figured out what I was doing wrong with my kids. You feel me? Like I realized my daughter is not me. I'm all energy, whatever. My daughter's a C. She don't want all that energy in the beginning. You know, I was feeling like I can't talk to her. It's like you can't talk to her. You just need to give her the information 72 hours in advance. She not Jalen. Jalen is a high I. You can come to my man 30 minutes before. He ain't really tripping. He's an extrovert. He ain't tripping. Jay, I want to go to Dallas. He like, when? In 30 minutes. He like, let me go pack. We'll pack. Let's not even pack. We'll buy some stuff when we get there. Just being real. My daughter's a C. Like she need her stuff in order. So it wasn't that we had a bad relationship. I didn't know who I was dealing with. And so I would deal with my daughter like she was me and she not me. So I'm telling y'all, Chris had me on my church, the building is, we about to build a building. I mean, everything. I'm like, let's go. I need y'all to understand. I wasn't on 70 trying to get to 100. I was already on 120 trying to get to 180. You said the moon. I don't know, Giac, I don't know which is the furthest, but you said the moon, so let's go with the moon. I don't know what, you know what I'm saying? I don't know all that stuff. But wherever that is, I'm trying to get to the moon. So Ant was like, okay, E, let's do this. Ant put some stuff on them, and I was like, I got it. Ant was like, no, this is what Ant did for me. Ant was like, yo, E, let's simplify it. We're not doing a lot this
year. Thank you, Eric T. Thank you, everyone, for joining in as well. So, my name is Bola Balogun, and I'm here to say hi to everybody. Nothing more. I mean, what are we doing today? Do we have anything special we should do today? Well, I think it all depends on you. I don't know the reason why we are here, but yeah, I think it's been a long time and it's good to catch up back, and obviously let's see what we can do and do what we do best. So #1, I've got Damian Scott. Thanks, Damian. What's going on in London? Dumitra, well, Dumitra, I've been very busy lately. I'm so sorry I've not been able to get in touch much lately, but yeah, it's all good. I'm so glad.
Good morning. No worries.
Good morning. Yeah, we will talk along the line. Thanks so much, Hike, for joining in. Pips and Candle. Wow, interesting. Nice to see you as well. Thank you for all the support in all the group. I can see a lot of people doing some wonderful work. Pips and Candle, one of them. Serena, wow, one of the oldies. How are you doing, Serena? Shay, Wumi, and Yaya MZ. Right, so we've got 10 people in the room, which is so perfect for me. I just wanna tweak something in us a little bit so that we can see direction and we can get to understand the chart a little bit more, you know. And obviously, if there's any question whatsoever, don't hesitate to pop into the room. I don't want to take much of our time, all right? So if you have any chats whatsoever, don't hesitate to pop it into the room. But what do we want to talk about today? I want to talk about, please, can someone give me a chart, please? Or someone talk about, give me a particular chart, possibly something that you are looking at. Don't let it be something that looks like a savior. probably I'm already prepared for it. When it comes to trading, you are not prepared most of the time. So if you give me a chart because you don't know what you'll find on that chart, if you give me a chart, then obviously we can look into it together. So I'm just waiting for someone to say, okay, this particular chart, this particular chart, this particular chart, anyone whatsoever, just pop it in, then we look into that. I'm just waiting on that. All right, someone said something. Let's see. Pound yen. All right. So when we first started way earlier on, we used to refer to pound yen as Ferrari, all right, because that pair moves like it wants to break your head. Okay, so it moves so fast, very fast indeed. I mean, it's one of the pair just because of the pound, the nature of the pound is a heavy weighted currency, you know, a lot of back in the days, the United Kingdom government has been very smart um, in acquiring as much as possible wealth from around the world before the other people wake up. You know, just because this country went through a lot of struggle, just because there's a lot of immigrants that managed to come into this country and settle. You know, so obviously they tend to have a lot of chances in the world. Their currency tends to be well matured and strong compared to a country like Japan. Japan is not such a bad country, you know, but notwithstanding, Japan decided to keep its currency at the very cheapest level so that they can get to use that to entice people to come into the economy. All right, so we are looking at two currency. One is heavy weighted, which is the Great Britain pound, and then the Japanese yen, which is light weighted, just because they are an exporting country. You know, it doesn't make sense if you are exporting things to other countries and your product is very, very expensive. You know, it's not every country that's going to be like United Kingdom. Out of about close to 200 countries in the whole wide world, you know, just a few countries going to be like United Kingdom. So how about the rest of the 180 countries? Who is going to be important to them? Right. So that is just the main story behind pound and obviously behind the Japanese yen as well. All right. So, and that's why I tend to move very strongly a lot. But notwithstanding, when you look at one of the tools that we use, right? I hope one of the tools that we use, which is smarthouse.net, I can see a lot of changes coming into pound lately. I can see that, I mean, coming into the acceptance of pound lately. Are you sure you're right? And all the things that we are seeing in the pound currently, or in the United Kingdom currently, they are just the old stuff that has happened more than 30, 40 years ago that is now spilling its repercussion rather now. And that's what we do in futures trading. We tend to buy to live the life of the future now. Like we buy into the future, everything that we need in the future, we start enjoying it now. So that when the future comes, the result of our greed or the result of what we are buying now that is for future, we now start to spill over. So it's called toxic debt, toxic debt, you know. So what I want to show you is the pound yen is expected to move about 94 pips on the average, okay? And then what I want to show you as well is volatility. That means the way the price is gapping has been very reduced. You know, it used to be around 170, 160 pips on the average, but now the volatility has come down. So a lot of interest is coming out of the pound yen. Okay. So one thing I want to share with you is, I mean, market is a cycle. Okay, so 1 minute you can have certain behavior, and then I'm not talking about in a minute sense. I'm talking about over a period of trend, and then when another trend comes, you can have also different kind of behavior. So what I want to share with you is, in January 2019, the pound yen was moving at closer to its highest volatility at around 160. This might be a little bit advanced, 160 pips, okay, per day, right, on the average. But now you can see, right, so this are to avoid certain currency. If you want a very fast pips moving currency, you can come to forex volatility to see how it's behaving, whether it's moving very fast or it's now declining. 90 pips per day is still not bad, you know. The highest theory ever moves recently is about 113 pips. So you just have that little idea at the back of your mind, okay? Oh, wow. All right, so what we're going to do, let me quickly look for GBP, JPY, and I want to start exposing you to some little things, especially for all of you. How many, can I know our trading experience? How many months we've been trading? Can I know if someone is new as well? Right? Can I know if someone is new as well? Right. So if you're new and your trading experience is couple of months or years or weeks, please go into the chat room and tell me where you are from, right? Especially for the people that are meeting newly, and then obviously we can start to get to understand how to help one another. All right. Okay, so this is a chart from 2003. I would have loved more data. Let me see whether I can get more data. Right, pips in kind of 3 months. Okay, so one quick questions. Okay, one quick question. I know it might be simple and hard for some people. Right, what is the time frame? That would be the simplest way of asking that question. What is the time frame of this chart? Newbie, I am MZ, don't worry. What is the time frame of this chart? Especially from the newbie, can somebody tell me what time frame this chart is on? All right, 1 month. All right, so if this is a monthly chart, okay, what do you think these candles represent? Okay, what do you think all these candles represent? What do they represent? Because the problem with most people is I realize that I've been doing a lot of research lately, and I've been watching how people look at the chart lately, and I can see that they are saying the opposite of what they're supposed to be saying. That's why they behave opposite manner in terms of results. Each one with the high, low, close per month. High, low, close of what per month? 1 month. A month of what? Right, so if you need to write notes, this might be one of the best time for you to start taking notes down, because I want to open eyes to certain things. A month of what? Because the way that you respond is showing me clearly as well that, okay, a lot of people has got a lot of toxic education in their body. All right. Those toxic education will be the results that you will see within the next 1 month, 2 months, 3 years, 5 years in your trading experience. So get this straight, okay? And it's important for us to get it straight as well. High, low, 1 month of what? What are you seeing? High, low, close of price per month. Price of what? Price of what? Price of the pair. Okay, so what does this chart represent? Yeah, I know it's price. What does it represent? I'm looking for one particular word, okay? So in order not to waste our time, don't know, good. It's not a problem if you don't know. That's why we all start as new. And I like the way that you're responding as well, which is quite impressive, okay? And for most people, they will choose not to respond. All right, so I'm having a problem with my text. I want to try to edit that, but it's playing up. It's trying to write text. Oh, improvement. Okay, so someone says price, okay? But what you're actually seeing are filled orders. Okay, that's what you are seeing. Yeah, those are the price at which those your buy and sell orders. Remember, what do we do in the market? We buy and sell. Okay, so we order something. Either we are buying it, okay, or we sell something, okay. So field orders, all right, and they are not just field orders; they are buy and sell field orders, okay. All right. So the field orders are not something that make the markets move because they've already occurred, okay. The unfilled orders, right, which you don't know where they are, makes the market. If there's two things that you want to know in this market, yeah, before I quickly spill the bean, is you want to know where the market is going to turn, okay, and then where it's going to move to after it turns. All right, start opening your mind's eye this way. If you know where the market is going to turn, are you not going to quickly go and queue there and be like, okay, turn into my hand, all right, so that when you turn, then obviously wherever you are turning to, I know the likely places that you may go, potential likely places that you may go when you turn, okay. But what actually turns the market, the unfilled orders, makes the market turn, okay, which are the orders which you haven't, which has not been filled in the market, okay. But they are there, but you don't know where they are, all right. So, but those unfilled orders, they are all around the place on this chart. They are here, all right. They are here, they are everywhere. I'm going to show you one slight example. What do I mean by they are here? I mean by they are on 220, they are on 90, they are on 120, and I'm going to show you this briefly, all right, so that you can know that the unfilled orders are actually there, all right. Because majority of the people are exposed to something strange, and I'll be piecing it up together for you so that you can understand the essence of this training today, okay. Right, why that one is so. What you're seeing in this on this chart is something that's already happened. These are sell orders in the market, these are buy orders in the market, and all these orders has already been filled. All right, so filled orders just facilitate the movement, all right, the movement where the market, how the market is going to move, okay, or how wide or how small the pips difference is going to be. That's what filled orders, because all these orders are already being filled. The unfilled orders right now, yeah, are the ones that will now show you where the market is going to turn, okay. And then we start to delve into things. But let me show you this briefly as well so that you can understand where I'm coming from. And it's gonna make a lot of sense to you now, so that you can know that there are orders all over the places in the market, all right. And it's not exactly what you are seeing, because the chart that you are staring at is not what is going to make that difference for you, because that chart has, those prices has already been filled. Well, I will look into that. That's not what I want to teach immediately today. All right. There are videos on it as well, but I'll look into that. I just don't want to divert this class. Each and every time I want us to learn something that's going to make a lot of impact in the way that we look at the price. Okay. So today is just the structure behind price. A lot of people sit down with indicators without knowing how to use them. And then the indicators signals are so confusing, and then obviously the result too will be very pathetic. Okay, you don't want to be lucky in the market. You just want to have a process that you can possibly be using over and over again, right? And then make money mostly on it. All right. So while this is trying to open up, we will look into EMAs hopefully before the end of this class. All right. Thank you so much, Ubat all the way from Ghana. Thank you so much for that. We will clarify things on that. All right. So I just want to show you what the orders is like so that you can understand what we're talking about and see clearly that majority of the time when you look at the charts, you should be looking at something slightly different from what you are looking at. All right, so I want to show you what another book looks like so that you can understand precisely that orders are all over the place in the market, and those orders that are yet to fill, all right, are the ones that actually move the market. So while that is opening, I've been having slightly a bit of problem on the internet lately. That's why when I want to do the live class and I see that the internet is messing about, I just leave it alone. All right. Okay. This is telling me something that I don't understand, but notwithstanding, we get through it. Let's see. Okay, I think this is coming up now. All right, so this is what I want to show us. Internet connection is unstable. So this is a future price of Bitcoin. Can you all hear me though? Can you hear me? I want to know whether it's my internet.
Yeah, but it's cutting off.
It's cutting off. Yeah, that's the problem that I've been having with Sky Internet lately. I don't know what's going on, but just bear with me. I will write that one.
Have you tried to connect your laptop with cable instead to use Wi-Fi?
No, just because I like a little bit of freedom. Sorry, I'm not sitting by the modem. All right. Okay, so look at this, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see this? This is price, right? Can you see this? This is size, and that's total. All right. So what I'm trying to say to you is these are orders, right? Hold on 1 second. Let's see how best we can bring it up. I hope it's not going to mess things up a little bit. Let me close this a bit. All right. Okay. So when you are looking at this chart, close this a bit. Close that one as well. Come on, chart. I think the internet is still playing up. But what you can see, can you see all these values over here? Right? Look at this value. This is 11,181 dollars for 1 Bitcoin. Okay, that price is represented over here. But when you look at here, can you see 11,164? Can you see that? Can you see 11,197? These are say orders that need to be filled in the market, but they are not represented where the current price is. I don't know if I'm speaking the language where you understand or not. The current prices that we are trading is 11,180, okay? But just before that 11,180 that we are trading that you can see over here, right here, look at all these orders. Look at the prices that we are seeing. We have orders at 11,197 already, which is going to be 11,197, a little bit higher up. And if I expand this, what we are actually doing at all these prices, this is the current price where we are trading. What do I mean by we are trading? This is the current price whereby someone that wants to buy can literally buy from, and someone that wants to sell to that buyer can sell to that buyer. But does it mean that I don't want to sell my own at 11,175? I want to sell my own at 11,222. Someone at the same time want to be buying at 11,123, but the market, the price that we are seeing on the charts right now, despite the fact that we can see that there's so many orders like 11,200, and so the current price that we are seeing is still at 11,176. What does that mean? That means all the orders that you are seeing over here that's flowing up and down, they are not yet filled, okay? They are not yet filled, and those are the orders that kind of turn the price. How do I know this? I know this from experience, from institutional trading experience, such that I don't want things to be too much for you today. I want to take it easy, such that, say for example, I want to buy something at £10, okay? And what I mean by I want to buy something at £10 is maybe I want to buy 1,000 shoes, and each and every pair of that shoe is going to cost me £10, okay? And obviously, if I'm going to be paying £10 for that 1,000 shoes, that's a large amount of shoes that I am buying. But if the price is at £8, say for example, if the price is at £8 and I want to pay £10 for it, do you think I'm quickly going to get filled or not? Someone is literally going to come and be like, I'm so satisfied, I'm going to be able to take that orders away from you. What am I trying to say in essence is this: my 1,000 orders that I wanted to buy can literally have an impact, all right, on the current price in the market. It can turn things around quickly, because if someone sells that 1,000 pairs of shoes to me, right, if he's the major supplier of those shoes and he sells 1,000 pairs of shoes to me and there's no more shoes anymore, that means that major supplier will want to quickly get more shoes into the market. Meanwhile, a lot of people will still be queuing to buy at a much more cheaper price. And that's what we are seeing over here. 1 second, please. This is what makes the price turn. I know it's a little bit complicated, but I'm going to still simplify it. All right, so we have an order at 11,176, okay? This is the price that you are seeing on the chart. This is what I'm trying to say to you. And you can see it here. 1 second as it loads. Right, so you can see over here, we are currently at 11,175. But does it mean there's no orders down here? Of course, there are so many orders down here. There are so many orders above here as well, okay? But you can see them. Well, I can see them with the order book, all right? I can see them with the order book. I can know that, okay, wow, look at, we go about 100 and something thousand people who want to buy at a particular price, and we've got about more other people who want to sell at a particular price. So I'm going to simplify. Look at the top price now, yeah? You can see how quickly the price moved down. We've got about 600,000 people, and we've got about, it's moving very fast. All right, so let's put a pen and paper to it to make it easy, all right? And then you will start to understand this now. So we have about, let's say we just use this as an example, 163, okay? That's the price that the buyers and sellers are. What I'm gonna do is this. Oh, it's even better. Snip, then we can go through it easily. I'm gonna pause this so that you can see things clearly. All right. So me looking at it, so this is what I'm trying to say to you. If we have 4,900 orders here, yeah, and we have 936,546 orders here. These are buy orders, these are sell orders, right? Okay. The moment these people exchange their 4,903, out of these people who are 900,000 higher, right? There won't be no more buyers to push the price up anymore, okay? These people will be able to force the price down more than these people trying to push the price up. So what you are seeing on the chart currently is the fight or the transaction between the buyers and the sellers, all right, that has already occurred. How about the one that hasn't occurred? Because the one that hasn't occurred is what shows us where the price is going to turn, okay? So looking at this pound yen chart, what we are seeing is this. Overall, at this high, all right, at this high, I want to limit this class to under 1 or 2 hours. At this high, this is the largest point where supply takes place in the market, okay? And at this low, this is the largest point where demand takes place in this market, okay? So my question now is, are we closer to the longer term supply level or closer to the longer term demand level? Remember, this is a monthly chart. That's my question. Where are we close to? Do you think the price will get quicker to the demand level where people are literally buying quicker, or it will get to the supply level where people are literally selling quicker, closer to the demand level? Great. That's absolutely fantastic. I'm sorry about the internet. It's quite disgusting one getting over, but now it's right. So closer to the demand level. All right. So if it's closer to the demand level, let's assume if price is down here, right? What are you gonna be doing? Look at the mistakes that traders make. Okay. If price is down here and price is pushing down here, what are you gonna be doing? This is a monthly chart. Are you gonna try your best to be selling? Say from here now, is it gonna make sense for you to sell all the way down into here? But say for example, if you are here, is it gonna make sense for you to sell all the way down into here? The two mistakes that traders make that is causing looking for buy opportunity. Well, you say you're looking for buy opportunity, right? Two mistakes. Right? So, number one mistake is this. If a novice trader is coming into this market, okay, that novice trader will look at the market and say the trend is down, fair enough. And just because the trend is down, the only thing that I'm going to do is looking to sell to demand zone, Okay. How well are you looking to sell into the demand zone? And that is what is going to take us to the other question that I've been asking you in terms of risk and reward, because these are what is going to start making a lot of changes in your trade, in your trading, right? The two mistakes that we make as a trader, as a newbie trader, is we sell for this pound yen after the market has dropped, okay? And number two is we sell into demand zone as well for this particular one. So say for example, previous month has dropped, okay? And then say for example, we are so closer to a demand level, all right, a longer term demand level, all right, which we're going to be looked buy at demand and sell at supply. Yeah, so it's easier said like that than done. Do people do that all the time? Maybe yes. Do people do that all the time and win? Maybe yes, maybe no. But if you start to see it, then you understand what I'm talking about. So say for example, I'll boil it down a little bit now. So we sell after the market has dropped. All right, so the price is dropping significantly, and if there's one thing that's going to come into your mind as a novice trader is, wow, I need to take advantage of this drop in price, okay? So you will jump in at the same time and be selling, okay? But what you are not taking note is the market getting to a closer level of demand zone, all right? So just because I mark this level here, a lot of people say they're going to be selling. They want to sell into this demand zone. But there's not just one specific demand zone in the market. There's so many demand zones in the market. Look at here. When price gets to this level now, right? Do we get demand or not? Did price try to move up or not? So after a significant drop in price to a level that is more or less like a demand or supply zone, right? In this case, a demand zone, then you still want to be selling, all right? And this is what makes a lot of difference in your trading, because you're not supposed to sell into any demand zone. It's not just about this lower level of demand zone. Remember, there's a monthly chart, all right? And that's where the mistake comes in, because most probably a lot of people will be looking at this last low. They've forgotten that there's a demand zone here as well. You can see it is there before. You know, these are field orders, all right? It is there before, and then that demand push price up. And then you are coming in now, you want to sell again, and then you are just looking at here. You are not looking at what has happened over here. You are not even looking at this side that price can easily turn up here. You are just focusing your mind on the sell, all right? And then you want to sell and continue to sell. Probably you are looking to sell to here or sell to here, all right? And that is a colossal mistake. How can you sell, right? When I'm in demand zone, okay, it's not just the retail price demand zone alone, okay? We're talking about institutional demand zone. You know all the market participants. You know that the market participants is not just you and me. We're talking about big banks. We're talking about central banks. We're talking about the government, okay? You see, the government themselves or the central bankers does not even know what is going to happen with the trade war, okay? So why should you be bothering yourself with the result of the trade war, or be using the result of a news to impact whatever decision that you're going to make in trading? Don't worry about that. Keep it simple, okay? That's what we are all about today. We want to do something very impactful, but we want to keep it very simple. Although I'm explaining it, you'll be able to see it now, because what I want to focus on today is what is not making your trading progress, all right? And then that is going to be what I refer to as risk and reward, okay? All right. So what do I mean by that? When you look at this, you are actually selling into demand zone, all right? What is your reward? Selling into the hands of the people that's going to push price up. What is going to be your reward? When you are selling into the hands of the people that want to push this price up, you are selling, and the big institution that can quickly swarm your orders just because you're not paying attention to where they are and how they move things, and you are selling into their hand. What are they going to do? They want to buy that quickly because exactly. You are selling into an area whereby they know that this is where we come in and push the price up. They are going to be buying from retail traders quickly. They are going to be buying from inexperienced traders quickly and be pushing the price up. All right, so this is a monthly chart. What I want us to do from this monthly chart is understand market timing, okay? Understand market timing by looking at the already information that is there, but those information is not what is going to turn price. So if we don't have enough buy orders over here, right, price is not going to turn, all right? So what I now want to do is I want to show you carefully and quickly that look at the way the price is coming down, all right? So the price is coming down significantly, but it's coming down into a zone, and that particular zone is just a demand zone, all right? And that demand zone is something that you need to avoid. Look at here. If price is coming down here, and then do you see these buyers? Do you see them? Are they in do they push the price up? All right. So you at least you know that this area the buyers was there. Look at here. You can see that they come here and push the price up. Look at here. Price comes back to here. That same
candle area here, and that's where they push the price up. And when I ask the question, a lot of people want to sell into demand zone. Okay, so this is a monthly demand zone, and I'll show you how to be able to work with it. Let's look into weekly quickly. All right, so now already you know that you are in a demand zone, so you don't want to be selling, right? This right about now, you want to be looking at things differently in a way. All right, so when we're talking about demand and supply zone, what do we mean by demand and supply zone? Let me bring my notes to this side so that we can get to see where we are. I hope you are following me. All right, so when we look at a weekly chart, okay, what we are seeing on this weekly chart is prices moving down towards that longer term. Remember, this is just a longer term demand and demand zone, okay? But does it mean that we don't have demand on other parts of the charts? We clearly do. Look at here, all right? Look at how quick the price moves away from there, okay? So what tends to happen in the market is this: you need to recognize, all right? You need to recognize these players, all right? And what are the players in the market? And I've shared this with you before. One, we have the locals. We call them the locals. I'll explain the meaning of them to you. And then we have the order time frame, just to simplify things. The order time frame, market participant. Who are the locals? The locals are more or less like the people, like the brokers or anything that just take the orders from you and want to put it into the market for a slight little commission. I see markets, they charge us 6 pence just to take the orders from you and put it into the market. The results of your trade is up to you, not up to them. They just charge whatever. They just want to make that little change from your trade, and then those are the locals. The locals, they do not cause range extension. What do I mean? The locals do not facilitate a huge movement in the price. Okay, they don't. All right. The people who facilitate that significant push or move in the price are the what? Are the other time frame players, and those are the central bankers, those are the government, those are the big financial institutions. So we want to start to understand where their orders are. All right, because when you know where their orders are, then obviously you can be able to remember unfilled orders, right? That hasn't gone into the market yet is what caused the market to turn, okay? And then obviously the filled orders, which you are seeing on the chart, this has already occurred. This is not going to put extra money into your pocket, all right? But you want to know where the unfilled orders are, and that's what we are delving into currently in terms of supply and demand. All right, so looking at this chart, price has moved up. Everything that you are seeing over here, demand, supply, demand, supply, demand, supply, demand, supply. But there are different qualities to demand and supply. There are different qualities of demand and supply. There are some demand and supply that you can take, and there are some demand and supply that you cannot take. All right, and I'll start to show you how that works going forward. Okay. So what we are seeing on this chart now is just keep it simple. Over here, what can you see? Can you see demand? Can you see price pushing up? Can we see price pushing up? Exactly. So if price is pushing up, remember this is a weekly chart, yeah? Remember this is a weekly chart, and price is definitely pushing up in this area. Do you know what tends to happen over here on this one? Does anybody know what happened over there? Can you see price get to that same level and push up? News, yeah, I think there's a flash crash. All right, so when you see a flash crash, right, or when you see a news scandal like that, okay, that indicates probably it's news, you tend to kind of disregard it a little bit in a way, but what you want to pay attention to is where is the trade location where that is happening, okay? So you are looking at that trade location, you know that it's a demand zone. How did the candle close away from the location. Oh, wow, it closed above the demand zone as well. Okay, fair enough, which means this area is still active and valid. Okay, it's still active and valid. So what we want to do at every demand zone, okay, what we want to do at every demand zone is to have a horizontal line there. It's not quite an horizontal line, because that's what you're gonna, this has already occurred. Have your horizontal line there and know that that's a demand zone. Okay, and then what tends to happen is, before this turn into a huge demand, all right, there's a sell-off that occurs into it as well. You can see the sell orders coming in, and quickly the demand comes in and turn things around. Okay, so you want to pay attention to that last sell orders. All right, this is on weekly now. All right, we're going to zoom things down to a much more lower time frame. So if you are in a position trade opportunity, then obviously you might be considering weekly chart. But if you are going to be doing day trading, then it's different. All right, so what I'm trying to show you now is clear. Like, look at this. So we have the sell-off coming into here, the last sellers for the week. All right, they literally push price down. All right, and then this is where they open, and then they push price down into this particular zone, and then the buyer snap it up from there. All right, so you don't want to, after a significant fall in price, Dimitri, all right, after you can see that the price has dropped, okay, what you now want to be taking note is, where did it drop into? Did it drop into my demand zone, all right, or did it drop into just an open space? If it drops into an area whereby they have been before, to turn things around, you don't want to be selling into that zone. Okay, you want things to clear up a little bit before you even make your decision of selling. What do I mean by you want things to clear up? Which means you want price to possibly break excuse me, sorry about that. You want price to possibly break the zone, and that's where you hear things like break and possibly retest, and price will start to go down. Okay, and price will start to go down. You don't want to be doing what? You don't want to be selling into an identified zone that's a demand zone. So if price drops all the way down, right, and you just thinking, wow, this thing is going down, it's going down, if I'm going to miss out on this opportunity, you have to now be thinking, wow, is it dropping into a demand zone? Okay, so right now on this weekly chart, you won't be able to see the demand zone the way that I want you to see it, but I'm just trying to mark it on the chart so that you can see where we are coming from. So this is a weekly level, a weekly demand zone is a huge level. You can see that the first time price comes there, you can see that little bit of demand comes in. Even if you grab this trade, this buy trade alone, you as a day trader, you're already profitable for the week, because what that trade means is the high is at 138.17 and the low, let's have a look. The high is at 138.17, all right, and the low is at 136.56, all right. That's more than a 200 pips worth of a movement, all right, and that is significant. You could possibly make profit on that, all right. So the level has been tested once, all right. So what I'm trying to say to you is this: if there are buy orders in this zone, okay, the first time that the price comes back to it, and that this will be the first time the price comes back to it on this particular candle here, right? The first time that the price comes back to it, every remaining buy orders that was never executed over here, because price moves very fast, all right, coming back to it over here can get that feel, all right, whether it takes a lot of weeks or whatever that is going to take, but just because price comes back down there, and if all these orders, just as we've seen, look at how the orders are stacking up on this particular place here, right? If all those orders are in the market, obviously they're going to push price up the first time. All right, so say for example over here now, right, there is just about 100,000 orders, all right, but it's a demand zone. Price moves very fast, all right. The reason why price moves very fast is because there is supply and demand imbalance. What do I mean by that? The amount of buyers in the market at this particular point in time outweighs the amount of sellers. You will be able to see things much more clearly as we progress into other time frame. There is what was it called? There is multiple time frame analysis that I would love to do for you as well. Maybe we put that in another class. But what I'm trying to show you is this. Look at this weekly chart, the way that it's dropping, okay? So if I ask you what is the trend, a lot of people is going to tell me that the trend is down, okay? So just having that focus that the trend is down is going to be the only reason why people are going to be thinking of they want to be selling, okay? But where are you selling into? Just because the trend is down, you are now selling into a demand zone. Should you be doing that? No. All right? Because price can turn in this area, because orders that comes in here that move price so quickly, all of them probably are not completely filled. How are you going to know that? Such that when price comes back into it, the first time price comes back into it, all those orders push price back up. All right? News, you're going to have to ignore the weak, all right, because it's caused by news. Anyway, it doesn't mean that those orders are not there or the intention to buy are not there. Of course, the intention to buy are there. Probably the news may have cut off some pending orders, but the moment price is coming back to demand zone, all right, the intention to buy start to rise up and push price back up again. All right. Now tell me, the first time price hits here, this is the second time that price has hit this particular place as well, all right? The third time that price has hit here, if we've got, say, for example, let's assume we've got 1 million, and we will be able to see it as well. Let's look at it. Look at it. I want you to pay attention to the volume, okay? You'll see the red and green one. On this particular chart, we have 969,000, right? Against 963,000. Sorry, 969,000 against 963,000. All right, that's what. Pay attention to the volume over there. On this one, we have 1.1 million buy orders against 965,000. It's not that much, but that buy orders literally push the price back up, okay? On this particular one, pay attention to this now, right? I want you to pay attention to this. So over here, we've got about 900 and we've got about 1.1 million orders. That's what we got, or buy orders that push the price up against the 965. When we get down here, because it's news, right? News events, look at how small that orders is. That's 303,000 against 297,000. That's not real orders, all right? But look at this particular one, all right? Look at the buy orders coming in. We have 297 against 302, all right? On this particular one, and then price start to shoot up. We have 332 against 308. Price start to shoot up. We have 263 against 307. Well, these are tick orders, but what you can see is as price is rising away from all the demand and supply zone easily. So what I'm trying to say is if we have 1 million orders here, right, and some of them get to filled up, right, and price rise, when we come back here, probably out of this 1 million orders, we still have some more orders, right, that didn't get filled. They will be filled, all right? So the more price return back to the area, the more of those orders price will be filled. So this is the third time, okay? And when price return back to this area, being the third time, all right, a lot of the orders has already been filled, right? By the third time, will the orders still be plenty as much as it is here? Would we have more orders testing the third time compared to the amount of orders that we have here? Just look at that particular question. This is the third time price is returning back to here, all right? The buyers that are pushing price up, okay? They've come in to push price up. They come here to push. This is the third time again. If those buyers are still in the market, will their orders be as much as they were in the first place? Because this is the third time that area has been tested. Is there any answer to that question? Do you think we will have more buy orders over here compared to over here? And the reason why I'm asking that question is this place has not been revisited a long period of time. So we're talking about the number of times that a trade location has been revisited. It comes here, the first time we saw that huge demand, the second time that huge demand, this is the third time. So there won't be as much as possible buyers in this market. So compared to here, so this is the kind of a place whereby you're going to be anticipating this break and possible retest for price to be going down, because this is the third time. All right, so this is how you're going to be piecing all the informations that you have together on the chart. So what we are actually looking for in a demand and supply zone is how fresh the level is. All right, how fresh the level is. So we are now looking at a weekly chart. We are looking at this price. We know that we are coming into a demand zone. Should we be selling? No. We should be a little bit patient, because those buyers can still be in the market. We saw them over here. Price comes down back to it. We still see them with a lot of indecision over here. We saw them with other indecision over here, you know, and all this is giving you a clue. Would you now, say for example, if price starts to come back up, would you hesitate to buy? Would you have any reason to hesitate buying this, knowing that this is a demand level? Exactly. So no, you would, just because you know that that's a demand level, you wouldn't hesitate to buy, because price has now shown you that, okay, despite the fact that this is the third time, all right, there are no more buy orders as we can see the movement, but price has now shown us that we are leaving a demand zone. Remember, this is a zone, all right, and that's the reason why I'm putting it together as a zone, so that you can see the moment price starts to leave this zone and want to be going up, you're not going to be hesitating buying, none at all. So you don't have to fold your hand when you don't. The key thing is which zone. Okay, if it's a demand zone and price has started to show you that I'm going up, all right, the buyers have now come into the market and they've shown you that they are going up even after this first test, which means this zone has been cleared off, all right, and then price starts to go up. You don't hesitate buying this, all right, because this is the kind of market where you're going to be profitable, because this is where the other time frame players I'm talking about, the institution, this is where they are, especially on this key longer time frame. That's where they are. That's where their orders are, because it's only their orders that can extend the range. All right, so let's move into daily and see things a lot more clearer. I'll show you this. Come on, internet. All right, fair enough. Now we are back here again. Okay. And this is what I'm talking about. After the news, right? Just because of this drop, a lot of people will be so skeptical and be like, wow, look at that drop. The first thing that will be sticking into their head, just because of all the trading books and the example of people that they are following without paying attention to the real orders in the market, will be like, when you see this drop, what are you going to be thinking of? Let's be true to ourselves, Dimitro. Let's be true to ourselves, Emilian, Hubert. When you see this drop, yeah, and you did not know what is going to happen over here, what are you going to be thinking of? Let's be true to ourselves. You're going to probably buy. I don't think so. When I see this sell-off and I don't know anything, whether this is a demand zone or a supply zone, I'm thinking, wow, now they want to be selling. I'm going to want to continue to sell with them. Exactly. That is the point. Because there's nothing that stops you from not wanting to sell this. Exactly. It makes you want to sell. Exactly. Makes you want to sell. That's what it makes you want to do. It just makes you want to sell. Give me a second. Bear me a second. Okay, so yeah, I mean, sorry about that short break. The head mentality will be thinking of selling. When you start looking at the zone carefully now, then you're going to start to say that, wow, what kind of zone is this place? Okay. Is it a demand zone? Is it a supply zone? And then you start to make an informed decision. The key is not folding your hand when you are not supposed to fold your hand. All right. Um, the other key thing now is this. This is the third time that price is coming down here. Now you can see clearly with the daily charts, right? So at the moment price deep into that demand zone, okay, if there are so much buyers in the place, they will be able to that demand of those buyers will be able to outweigh the supply that we see in the market. But in this case, as the demand being able to outweigh the supply that we see in the market, just by coming back into the zone, and we see the kind of the behaviors that the buyers are exhibiting, have they been able to overcome the supply that we see in the market? Because it takes one day for this drop to occur, and it takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. If there's huge demand imbalance against the supply, the price will shoot up higher significantly. That shows you clearly that there's more buyers in this market than there are sellers, all right, especially in the zone. Okay, so when you are coming into the zone now and you are seeing all this kind of move already in a demand zone, what you are expecting is for price to push up higher. But now you can see that in that demand zone, price is fidgeting. Can you see it clearly? No problems. Can you see it clearly? I'm not going to let this last too long. I want to be bringing clarity into it little by little so that people can simmer that down and they can start to look for it on the chart. All right. So coming back into the zone, we didn't see so much buyers. They can't even push price up higher. The sellers are now pushing for price to literally go down significantly back into the zone. So these are the areas where you want to avoid, because the demand and supply imbalance is not showing you that there's going to be that huge move, because that huge move is what you want to capitalize on. Okay, so in this case now, look at what we've seen. We've now seen price coming down to the low of the demand zone. Okay, such that now we are seeing the retest of that particular zone, and this can mean that just because we're breaking the demand zone, price can start to turn lower. So if you see any rejection now, right, in this particular area where we are, just because we've broken that demand zone, now you're looking for that rejection, some kind of candle like this, even on a smaller time frame around this zone. This is a big zone, okay? Then you don't want to hesitate selling this. All right, if it is inside here or above here, then you don't want to hesitate buying it. All right, so now let's look into 4-hour charts. Okay, in the demand and supply zone, you don't want to be seeing so much activities going on in there, right? In a demand and supply zone, when there's so much activity going on in there, you know that demand and supply are almost at equal level. There's no imbalance whatsoever at all, right? When there's imbalance, price is just going to flow in the direction of the imbalance. Okay, when there's imbalance, price is just going to flow in the direction of the imbalance. And there are certain qualities to this as well. So this is going to be the first session of this class, all right? And this first session of this class is just introducing you to how to find the best odds in the market using demand and supply, and at the same time understanding what risk and reward can possibly be, all right? So what do I mean by that? When you look at this chart, look at this significant drop in price, okay? Now, this is what I want you to focus on. This is where the banks are. Let me show you. Can you see that huge drop in price? They are the one who will come. You will be seeing a ranging market for some period of time, and then they will come in and break the range down, all right? So this is the presence of central bank. This is the presence of Morgan Stanley. This is the presence of Citibank. This is where they are. All right. So this is a current supply zone on a 4-hour chart. Okay. Current supply zone on a 4-hour chart. The last buy in this area of demand and supply, right? In all this area that I've drawn in this zone that I've drawn, the demand and supply in this zone is almost equal. The equation is almost equal. But we don't know who is going to exert more pressure. We don't know where the balance is going to come in from. Or, where the imbalance is going to come in from. Suddenly, we saw the sellers push down the price. That's what we want to see. All right. So now the key that I want to give you today, one single key that I want to give you today is this is where they are. This is where those sell orders are. Such that when price managed to start to turn back into this zone, okay, you now want to start to watch out for what? A sell opportunity for the rest of the orders, the sell orders. This is the most freshest level. This is the most fresh level where the bank sells the pound against the yen, okay? And their orders, majority of them might not have been filled, okay? Because you can see that over here, there is an imbalance between the buyers and the sellers, and suddenly they break down. So that when price is returning back to this area, right, your risk is just going to be in between here. So you got about 16 pips risk, add, say, about 10 pips to it, okay? Some people will want to put it at the eye of this, which is going to be 17 pips, but I would just add maybe about 5 to 10 pips above here. I'm cool. All right. What kind of reward am I looking for? I'm looking for price to go back to an area of previous demand. Okay. Remember, we have the weekly levels around there that we've drawn. All right. So I'm looking at that kind of reward. How many pips is that? So if I take my trades around there, all right, I'm looking at a reward that is, say, for example, 15 pips worth of risk plus another 10 pips, that's 25. All right. If my reward is coming down to what? All this zone where price tend to turn, all right, how many pips do we have there? We have about 160 pips. So I personally know that I can easily get almost about, let's say, 17 to 1 worth of risk reward over here, all right? Let's even say 10 to 1 worth of risk reward over here. So I'm much more better off to take my trade in a place whereby I'm looking at the risk and reward, just because I know that price is going to come back into this zone in one way or the other, right? Because that's where the price has been coming down to, even all this low level over here. This is levels where demand is before, but we've managed to break it. So the next level that we are looking at is down here. So if I get a risk and reward that is 17, right, to 1, that is a positive trade for me. Probably out of this, I'm just going to be looking for 5 to 1. So if I'm looking for a risk reward that is just 5 to 1, I want the opportunity that I can get into the market to give me more than 5 to 1 risk reward. I'm not talking about EMA today, and I don't want my class to be diverted on EMA. When it comes to EMA, it's over here. All the videos are there, 12, 36, 200, and 633, okay? Follow the class. Don't get half education. I know it can be difficult, but follow the class. Don't get half education. Go into the YouTube room and understand. Today, we are discussing where the banks are and how to use them to improve your trade. So the fresh level of supply is over there. The next level where they are likely going to act again when price comes back is around this area. So the price that you're going to be looking for will be around 137.06. And this is how you tend to improve the kind of trades that you take, okay? No, that's just an example. All you need is, do you have supply and demand imbalance? All right. Do you have supply and demand in the area? What do you have here? These are buy orders, that's demand. These are sell orders, that's supply. These are buy orders, I'm talking about the candles. You can see who is winning. All right. The buyers come in, they win. All right. The sellers come in, they win. The buyers come in, they win. The sellers come in, they win. Suddenly, this is the last buyers that hasn't got much strength for this to start to come down. So this is where the banks supply outweighs the demand. You can see that beforehand, all right, such that when price is going back there, this is where you are waiting for your price, okay? You don't want to have anything to do with price when it's not going to that area, all right? So that is how to spot it. Start looking for it. This is where I'm going to end the class. I just gave you a sneak preview of what is coming, and now you're supposed to be looking at your risk reward, all right? Because the maximum risk that you're going to encounter over here is just going to be this space over here, all right? So let me quickly look for another example for you, and that will be one last example. I like the fresh one because that's where the market is likely going to go to anyway, and that's where we're going to take a next sell, and that is the opportunity right there. You can see how strong the move is downwards, all right? It's different from this kind of move. You're looking for a supply that shows you that something literally has more power than the other, all right? You can see how that outweighs, the supply literally outweighs whatever demand that's going on. And I will start to now expose you. You're welcome, Didi. I will now start to expose you to how to enhance this opportunity, because I don't want you to get confused on the indicators so much. I want you to see what the others is behind the scene, and the fresh one is even much more better than the old one. All right, so look at here. Look at this particular place. All right. What do we have here? Do we have demand and supply? You can see supply. Now you can start to see, we are talking about a range of a place, right? So you see that demand, supply, right? Now we can see that easily. Look at how big the supply comes into play, all right? So such that if I extend this, do they come back in or not? Can you see them coming back in this zone? All right, so what is going to be your risk for this particular trade? Let's say, for example, that's about 74 pips, but it's a high probability zone that generates another result of 200 and something pips. And you can lower your risk as well. In one way or the other, we will come back to it as well. Yes, they have come. Yeah, they come back. All right, so I'm trying to show you, today I wanted to show you what the bank does and why the bank are so good at this, but the retail traders are finding it difficult, all right? And when I tend to see things, this is the way that I see it. This is the way that I make a very fast decision when I get to those zones and just make things happen, okay? I've come to the end of the training today. I want to keep it short and simple, keep it simple and nice, and I'll show you some key things that you need to be looking for, all right? You can start to make me feel proud. Go on to some of those charts, mark up those levels. They are not so difficult to understand. This is got nothing to do with indicators or much of an indicator. This is the actual orders behind the scene. And then you want to know where the banks are, right? You want to know where the big institutions are, and then we just take it from there. Thank you so much, Pips and Kando. Thank you. Let me see who I've got here today. Thank you so much, Damien Scott. Thank you so much, Dimitro. If it's not clear, there's a recording for this. There will be further class on this so that you can get to start understand demand and supply. I just bring a sneak preview, okay? Emilian, Hubert, these are your EMs. They are always there on the chart. Patrick, thank you, Pips and Kandu. You're welcome all the time. Sonny, you're welcome all the time. Wumi and Yaya and MZ, you're welcome all the time. So we talk about banking levels, where the actual demand and supply is today, and then you will be seeing it going forward, how it works. It will get you to be able to time your trade as well, so that you just don't start following all the orders that wouldn't really make sense. You follow the orders from the real institution. You follow the real institutional orders, all right? I hope you gain value. Please, if you have any question, you know where to find me. Shoot them across, then we'll take it from there. I love you all. Have a lovely day and have a blessed day, okay? I'll stop sharing now, and then we take it from there. You're welcome. You're welcome, guys. Speak to you in a bit.